They say you can feel when something is about to go wrong. I felt it that morning, an odd chill in the air, like the world was holding its breath. I walked into the office wearing my favorite navy blazer, the one I always wore when I needed a confidence boost. But no amount of confidence could have prepared me for what was coming. The email hit my inbox at 10:02 a.m. Please see me in my office. Ron. Ronald Green, my boss of 7 years, wasn't known for being warm, but we had an understanding. I was one of his most trusted project managers, so I figured it was a routine update or, dare I hope, a promotion. Instead, I walked into a room that felt colder than a walk-in freezer. Ron didn't even meet my eyes. "Have a seat, Maya," he said, folding his hands together. I sat down slowly, a pit forming in my stomach. "We've decided to terminate your employment. Effective immediately." I blinked. Once, twice. My ears rang like I'd just been slapped. "What?" "Ron, this has to be a mistake. I just wrapped the Peterson account and landed us that new client in Chicago. Why are you—" "It's not personal," he cut in. "It's a business decision. Budget cuts." My voice cracked. "You're firing me for budget cuts?" "I'm sorry," he said quietly. No explanation, no emotion, just a flat apology that felt like poison in my throat. I stood up on shaky legs, numb and angry. I gathered my things in silence, the eyes of my coworkers following me like ghosts. Not a single word, not a goodbye. Out in the parking lot, I sat in my car for over an hour staring at the dashboard. Tears came hot and fast, but behind them was something else. A suspicion. Because Ron had been acting strange lately. Secretive, distant, and always disappearing on Thursdays. And just like that, my sadness turned into fire. I needed answers. Unemployment came with a terrible silence. Days felt endless, nights too loud, but my gut told me Ron hadn't fired me because of budget cuts. Something deeper was festering beneath the surface. I started digging. It began with a casual call to Jen, a former coworker still at the office. "I just don't get it," I said. "One week I'm handling million-dollar contracts, and the next I'm boxed up and gone." Jen hesitated. "You know, he always left early on Thursdays. Disconnected his phone. Never said where he went. Some of us joked he had a second life or something." Her laugh was light, but something clicked. That night, I scoured his social media. His Instagram was squeaky clean, too clean, a curated collection of quotes, coffee cups, and corporate smiles. Nothing personal, nothing real. But then I found a tagged photo. It wasn't on his page, but on someone else's, Clara Jennings. She'd tagged him in a family photo. Ron was standing beside a woman and 2 teenage boys in front of a modest suburban home. The caption, "Family First." My heart stopped. That wasn't his wife. I knew his wife. Her name was Melissa. She was a vice principal, classy and elegant, the kind of woman who wore pearls to brunch. Clara was someone else entirely. Her profile was public, filled with photos of the boys, his boys. They had his eyes, his mouth, even his laugh in one short video. This wasn't just some fling. This was a family. I couldn't sleep. I kept thinking, was I fired because I was getting too close to something he didn't want discovered? I found the address through a photo tagged with a local bakery. Every Thursday, Ron visited that neighborhood. So the next Thursday, I followed. I parked across the street from the house and waited. My heart pounded so loudly I could barely hear my own breath. At 6:13 p.m., Ron pulled up in his Audi. He got out, looked around, and walked right into the house without knocking. He hugged the boys, kissed Clara, smiled like a man with no shame. Felt sick. Everything made sense now. The guilt, the secrecy, the sudden firing. He didn't want someone with a sharp mind digging too deep. But I wasn't going to stay silent. The next Thursday, I didn't stay in the car. I walked up the path to Clara's house, fists clenched at my sides. My heart felt like it might shatter, but I needed to look him in the eye. I rang the doorbell. Footsteps. Then the door opened. Ron's face drained of color. "Maya? Can we talk?" I said. My voice was soft but steady. He stepped outside and gently closed the door behind him. What are you doing here? I know, Ron. About Clara, about the boys. He exhaled like the weight of 10 years had collapsed onto his chest. How long have you known? Long enough. I saw you. I saw them. He didn't deny it. He didn't try. I never meant for this to happen, he said. I met Clara years ago on a business trip. One thing led to another. I didn't plan to fall in love again. And your wife? I snapped. She doesn't know. Of course she didn't. Just like I hadn't known the man I worked beside for 7 years. I fired you because I panicked, he admitted. You're smart, Maya. I thought you'd figure it out. You were always watching, always 2 steps ahead. I couldn't risk it. You ruined my life to protect your lie, I whispered. I didn't know what else to do. I turned to leave. You made your choice, Ron, and now you get to live with it. Back home, I let the tears fall. I wasn't sad anymore. I was angry, relieved, heartbroken, and somehow a little bit proud. Because I'd followed the truth even when it hurt. Weeks passed. I started freelancing, sharing my story anonymously through blogs. Messages poured in from others, people who'd been betrayed, silenced, or discarded. And it gave me something Ron never could: clarity. Some people live their entire lives in masks. But I won't. If you've ever been wronged, fired, or pushed aside, dig deeper. Listen to your instincts. The truth might not set you free immediately, but it will make you stronger, because secrets rot in silence. And I refuse to stay quiet.